Tyler Perry. Here is my top 5 picks. Let's get started. Alright, welcome back to the akjsaid channel. This is the second episode actually of Look Who's Talking, a podcast that, I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to have it every Friday or every other Friday or once a month or who knows. But today we're going to be talking about my top 5 picks for Tyler Perry movies. Alright, so most of my picks I have are from his earlier work. Not used like the early work is from The Diary of a Mad Black Woman to Medea's Big Happy Family. That's when his writing shift and his production skills shifted to a whole nother thing that I don't like most of his work now. But I mean I watch it though. I'm a fan, but I think most of his work has gotten lazy, and I say that as a fan. I say that one of his biggest fans. I actually started watching him when I was in grade school, and I had saw bootleg videos of his work at my dad's house. I used to watch all his bootleg plays. I think the first one I saw was Medea's Class Reunion, and I was like, "Whoa, what is this? I've never seen." Something like where it was like an all-black cast. It was a play too, and after I saw that, I had started writing my own plays, and in a notebook, and then I moved from my notebook to my writing plays on my laptop, using Microsoft Word, and I was writing 125 pages and 150. I would sit there and write every day, all day. And I think so far I've written that I can find. I've written 6 plays, and I've written a total of 3 screenplays. Where I haven't really written. Well, I've written 1 so far each year. I just wrote a short series last year. Well, last year I wrote The Most Dangerous Game. That's something else. That's actually a short story I read in high school, and I just rewrote it last year. And yeah, that's been interesting. So I'm gonna give you my list of my top 5 Tyler Perry movies. I'm starting with number 5. All right. So number 5 is Medea's Family Reunion. Number 4 is Meet the Browns. Number 3 is For Color Girls. Number 2 is Why Did I Get Married 1 and 2. And then number 1 is The Family That Prays. All right, so I'm going to start off with Medea's Family Reunion, okay? I'm going to give you my opinion on that. So Medea's Family Reunion. While planning her family reunion, a pistol-packing grandma must contend with the other dramas on her plate, including a runaway who had been placed under her care and her love-troubled nieces. And I thought that movie was his second movie that he had did. That was in 2006, and I thought that movie was good. I like how the story went. I like, my favorite character was, he's a bad guy. I thought he was just a powerful actor in there, and that's Blair Underwood. I thought him being a bad guy was good. I never seen him in that light before. I mostly seen him as the cool guy. He actually did a show that I actually really liked that got canceled after before the first season even ended, which was called the Event. That was my show, man. And then it just stopped coming on for him. That's my first show I ever watched, and then it got canceled before the season even got done with. So I was kind of mad about that because that was a good show. I thought the story was great. Lynn Whitfield was great. Madea was great. Everybody in there was great. Keke Palmer was great. It was just a good story, and that's why I really started. I think that's when I started writing my films. Is when I saw that movie, and I had started writing like my own screenplays and stuff like that. And none of my screenplays had made it on YouTube or except a couple of them, but they like short films and stuff like that. But I never got a chance to actually get my plays up out there to the world to see it. But that's coming soon actually. That's one of my goals is to shoot a short. Actually, I did shoot a short film actually. A couple at the beginning of the year, I shot a short film. I got a chance to edit it yet. I got a chance to talk to my cinematographer. I can't talk for real. So I got to talk to him, get my film back so I can edit it and get it back out here so people can see it. I think it's really good, actually. So yeah, should I go to my list first? Go to my list. Oh, I did already. For number 4, Meet the Browns. And before I go into that, my list has changed since the last time I did this. My list was way different. The only thing that's the same on here is Why Did I Get Married and The Family That Prays. Those are the same things on my list. I changed it this time because I was basically going off the story of the movie and not really based off the acting because all his acting and all his films are they're decent. But I have to say after Badia's Big Happy Family, like his acting and his movie skills is just it looked like it was just rushed and no time was put into it. And he says that he shoot his movies within a week. Like we can tell, that you're doing it. But I know that you have your set audience. If you're gonna watch anything that you do, but it's just like you can do better. You can do way better. I know you're trying. You don't really want to get an Oscar, but you could if you really sat down and you really put some thought into your writing, into your movies, and into your editing. So it's sad, that I don't really want to go pay to see your movies anymore because I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my money because like I'm watching something because you just threw something together within a week. You know what I mean? So it's just you can do better than what you've been doing, and and now it's getting to a point where it's making me mad to that somebody I admire so much, and that somebody who would inspire me to be the person I am today. It kind of bothers me. Um, so yeah. So my number 2 is Meet the Browns. I think Meet the Browns was one of the it was, I think the third one that came out in 2008. And it's about a single mom that takes her family to Georgia for a funeral of her father, a man she's never met. There, her clan is introduced to the Craze. Oh, okay, the Craze, fun-loving Brown family. I've been watching. I watched the play. Came out way before this. I think it came out around like 2005, 2004, 2005. The play came out. I didn't get a chance to see the play at the theater in St. Louis, but I did watch it on DVD. And I thought Angela Bassett's, her acting in her was very basic. It was very. I can tell she was acting. How you see a movie where you just feel like that's the person that you see up there. But like with this story, I couldn't really tell, that she was, that she was Brenda. I could tell that I'm just looking at the movie like that. That's just Angela Bassett acting. If that makes any sense. But I enjoyed the movie because it was entertaining. Um, it was different than what other movies I saw at the time, and I thought that how he wrote the play, differently. I mean, the different from the movie it was different, and it actually was a setup to Madea Goes to Jail, which I thought was one of the worst movies he's ever done. Um, Yeah, it's kind of hard to say like which one's like my favorite, but because I'm trying to figure out, am I trying to come at this as a critic, or I'm just saying what I like about the movies. But I'm saying mostly what I don't like about the movies. So that's probably what y'all are saying. Um, but I just thought that it was just a good movie overall. I do have some like some bad things about it, but overall it was a good movie. It grossed over $41 million. That's crazy. That's wild. But I think like what I liked about it, Jennifer Lewis was in the movie. She's from St. Louis, so that's what's up. Lamar Rucker, he actually follow me. He follows me on Instagram. Um, there's another lady in here that got her made her career based off of Tyler Perry, because she was really a no name for real with this until she did Tyler Perry's play, and then she went on to Modern Family. Sophia, I think that's her name. And I thought that she was a good fit in the movie too, as Brenda's best friend. She that was a good fit for her, and the whole story is it was just interesting how he rewrote it from his play, and how he added characters to it and stuff like that. It's a movie I can rewatch over and over again and still enjoy. So I'm basing everything off of. It's the movie I can watch over and over again and still enjoy myself every time I watch it. That's what I'm basing off my list from. And I watched Meet the Brown several times on BET or on. I had it on DVD, so I was watching it constantly when I was young, just constantly watching it. So it was really a great movie to watch, and it was a good comedy. I did laugh at it because it was funny. So I will say that my number three was For Color Girls. I picked this one because I actually did the play at my school at the time, which was Harris Stowe. And then I got dropped from the play because I couldn't remember three lines, or I just didn't want to, or I thought it wasn't really worth my time because I like to act. I really want to, get into my characters and show my skills in my range in acting. So that's where I really wanted to do with my roles. So when I saw For Color Girls in movies, which For Color Girls is about each of the women portrayed one of the characters represented in the collection of 20 played poems, revealing different issues that impact women in general and women of color in particular. And I thought the way he wrote that was just beautiful. How he used the poems, inside how he wrote like the story around the poems, and how he still made it make sense and stuff like that. And it was just a good uh, art form that was different from any other movie that I've seen. And in the close to like For Color Girls, I ain't trying to say he's on the level of this, but it was similar to Fences, which is like it's like poetry in a movie, or because Fences was a play, was a Broadway play that was done by August Wilson, and basically all August Wilson do was like this. He was the way he spoke was just it was different, and his words inside his plays were poetry, and it wasn't just people just talking. It was like what people went through in the in the in the back in the day, where people went through and how they still had to face life, everyday life problems, even when they left their house and had to face like the racism and the classism, and he still had to go home and deal with his family and his wife, and I don't know if Troy was his son or not, but he had to deal with his son who felt like he wasn't being loved by his father. And it's about the father and son relationship and stuff like that. So I kind of put that with the For Color Girls, where they were talking about the women and how they all are connected as one, but they're each of them have their own like problem that they have to face on their own. But at the end of the movie, they all come together and they find their strength within each other, and that's really what was a good movie because the women I'm around on a regular basis, that they could see each other, through them. Like they saw, like each one of my people I was around, like they saw something in the women that's in the movie, um, in them, and seeing something that's seeing yourself on the screen is something. It's different. It's a different feel, just watching the movie. But you see yourself and you learn from that. And I learned from for Colored Girls because it was you learn about women, and all the problems that they have to face, and how even as a black male, like they go through more than I do. Like they get more disrespected, than I do. And I just had to learn from he's a state senator in Missouri, Brian Williams, and he just got elected to the state senate, and he was telling me he is the first one to be elected, the first black male to be elected in 20 years. So we haven't had any black male representation in the Senate for 20 years in Missouri, and he's the first one to do that. And he was telling me that he searched for three other black women, and he was saying that he had to help fight for their respect from the male colleagues in the Senate for them. Um, and because he was saying that the white men in general, but he was saying specifically the white men were showing him more respect than the black females that was in the Senate with him. I know a couple of them. I know a couple of them that's actually serving right now, and so yeah, it was pretty. Even though I know that black women have to muster more respect from people, but I wasn't paying attention to that. I just figured that all black people had to go through that, but I didn't specifically know that black women had to go through that. So it was interesting to see, or to learn about that. Um, so yeah, for Color Girls. So that's my number. Let me go back to my thing. Number 3. My number 2 is Why Did I Get Married 1 and 2. I thought, besides my number 1, I thought that was one of his best works that he's ever done. 1 and 2, because he talked about like the married people and how married people have their own problems too. And I thought the story was great. I thought the acting was great. I thought Janet Jackson was great. Tyler Perry, Jill Scott, Sharon Leal. I actually fell in love with Sharon Leal watching Why Did I Get Married to 1 and 2. I thought everybody in her was just great. And for people who don't know what that movie is, let me go to the 1 first before I read that. So 1 is down here. Oh, there it is, right there. The big screen adaptation of Tyler Perry's stage play about the trials of marriage and what happens to one family when a sexy young temptress arrives on the scene. And yeah, that's what the play was about too. And I thought the play was great too. It was in one area. It was like I thought it wasn't a lot of characters either in the play. And LaVan Davis, Cheryl Pepsi Riley, I think Tony Grant was in there. Beverly Folks, who's actually one of my Facebook friends. Who else was in that? I think what was the man's name? I forgot. But yeah, that's the play. I thought the play was just great because it was everything fit together. Like even the songs that was in the play it was perfect for the situation. And I think once I saw that play, I started writing like plays with like smaller cast and when I don't have singing in my plays, but it was more of just talking in my plays, not really singing. It's not a musical, but I had started writing plays with like smaller cast, and I started writing one acts instead of like doing two acts because I think for some reason I feel like I just can't write anymore, or I just can't. I don't have the I have writer's block, and so lately I've only been writing like every couple of months or whenever I feel like I need to write, I'll write. But it's never been like when I used to be when I was younger, where I was writing like this every day. I'll come home and write, or I'll be at school writing my notebook, or whenever I feel like writing, I wrote, and which was like frequent. But now it's like I write when it's necessary, and when something that hits me, I write it down, or I just start writing there. But more so, I've been learning about different writers and different styles and different stories and different genres. I had to stop writing church-based plays. There's nothing wrong with that, but it was me. I wanted to elevate and teach my fan base and also the black community, different type of plays and writers. Because most of the people I've come across, even when I was a teacher, the kids only knew about Tyler Perry. And there's other playwrights that's out there, like James Baldwin has a play, August Wilson. Those are the only two I can name right now, but I'm pretty sure Tennessee Williams, which I think he's from St. Louis. Trying to think of some other people. I can't think of them right now, but those are the people who inspired me to write, to change the way I write my plays, because it was more so just talking, and I thought that was just amazing when I first saw August Wilson's play Ball Rainey's Black Bottom at the Black Rep. And when I saw that, I thought that was just the play I was just like, whoa. And from that point, I changed the way I wrote my plays. I changed what my plays were about. It became I wrote more substance to it. It wasn't just so broad about, oh, he's cheating with this man, or she's cheating with this woman, or whatever the case may be. But the stories were more with substance, like, being taken advantage of with money and power and greed. It was more talking about that type of stuff, and then what Tyler Perry talks about is more of he shot my man, or she don't know what she's doing, or I'm finna cheat with her, or with him. Who knows? That's what Tyler Perry does. That's his niche, and I wanted to separate myself from him to my own niche with what I do, how I write. So that's what I was on. So after I saw Why Did I Get Married, and Why Did I Get Married Too, it was something different that he wrote that wasn't what his usual what he usually writes. Even though it was some things in there that was like kind of like the same, like with the cheating part, it's kind of the same, but the story was different than what he usually writes it on. And this is another movie I can watch over and over again because it was a good movie, and Jill Scott was great in there, and Jill Scott, her acting was great. So Why Did I Get Married 1 and 2 is my number 2 choice. So my number 1 pick is The Family That Prays. That by far is, in my opinions, Tyler Perry's number 1 play. That's his best work ever. And from what I'm seeing, what it's about is it just says two families from different walks of life learn to work together. And that stars Kathy Bates, Alfred Witter, Sanaa Lathan, and Rockman Dunbar, and some other people, Taraji P. Henson and Tyler Perry, and Cole Hauser. I thought the cast was great. I thought everybody fit their roles. I thought Kathy Bates was great, and I was very surprised when I saw her name in the credit when it first came out. I was like, Kathy Bates in there? Like, whoa! I'm like, Cole Hauser, what? I was like, Alfred Witter, Sanaa Lathan. I was like, okay. And from the story was great, from the character, the different stories inside, like the main story was just, it was off the chain. Like I really enjoyed myself watching this movie, and I think he tried to redo it again with his TV show, The Have and Have Nots. I think that's basically what this movie is about, and I don't like it. It didn't work for me. It looked cheesy, and it just like the acting is cheesy, and the story was cheesy, and I did after the first couple of episodes of Have and Have Nots, I just stopped watching it because I was just like, it's not a good show. Even though no, don't get that. It's just my opinion. Most people they like the show, so that's on them. But I don't like the show. I think he can do a lot better. I think he can do a lot better with his movies and with his writings, and he can do a lot better than what he's been doing. And I think, like as I said before, after Medea's Big Happy Family, I just seen even with his plays, after Medea's Big Happy Family, I feel like it just went downhill from there. Because he can do better. He can do better, and I hope. And then again, then watching all of the I watched like movie reviews and stuff like that. Almost every movie review I saw any Tyler Perry movie was negative. It was only like maybe two or three that was positive, but most of them were negative. And these are people who want him to do great. These are people who just who are not just bashing him because he's Tyler Perry, but they want him to be greater than what he is, and the movies that he's doing is just terrible. Like I'm going on the list now. I'm watching right now. I have the whole list in front of me. And Medea had a family reunion. That was just Daddy's Little Girl. That was decent. That was okay. Why Did I Get Married? Meet the Browns. The Family That Prays. Medea Goes to Jail. That was okay. It was entertaining watching that movie. But like story wise and acting was just terrible. I Could Do Bad All by Myself. That was decent. Still, it was decent. It was just decent. Um, While I Get Married Too, For Color Girls, Medea's Big Happy Family. I think that movie was actually good to me. It was actually a good movie. But what I'm saying is after that movie, it just went downhill. I think Good Deeds was a good movie too. I'll give him that. Good Deeds was a good movie. I think that was him trying something different and him being in the leading role without him being Brian or Medea. It was a good thing for him to try. Medea Witness Protection. I also give that movie a thumbs up on that. I thought it was a good movie. It was funny. It was different. Temptation. That was a good movie. That was on my last list actually of my top five Medea. My top five movies. It was actually on my last list, so I give this one a pass. And Medea Christmas. Terrible. That's actually I think that's actually one of his worst movies he's ever done. Medea's Christmas, a Medea Christmas, The Single Moms Club. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Boo 1 and 2. Both of those are just terrible. And I went to go see Boo 2, I think, in theaters, I think. And I remember just them saying like certain lines, and like you can tell like it was just um, like it was some words that bleeped out, and some people messed up, and like he kept it in there. It just the Boo movies were just terrible. That's all I have to say about that. Acrimony, it was okay, but I think it was. Um, I have to watch it over again to really give you my input on that. But like that he tried something different. I like that it was his first rated R movie, but like it was some cussing that it didn't need to be in there. Like it's just some stuff that just didn't need to be in there. Like some scenes were just too long, and the story wasn't really making sense. Like her husband wanted to make a solar battery or some type of battery that didn't make sense, but it just he could have did a lot better with that movie. And I ain't just to see his new one, but a Medea family reunion. Almost every review I saw of this movie was terrible. Almost every single review I saw of this movie was terrible. So I'm just really waiting for him to give us a movie that's worth my money and my time. 'Cause I know he got in him. Um, that's all I am. I'm just waiting for a good movie from Tyler Perry. That's somewhere along the line of The Family That Prays. That's all I'm trying to do is get him to do a Oscar-worthy movie. And even though I know he don't want to, he don't want one. I know he probably do or don't. But like, at least try at least one. Let's give us one. That's all we asking for. So yeah, what's your top five Medea movies or Tyler Perry movies in general? Please let me know in the comments, and like and subscribe and share if you enjoyed this podcast. And I will see you next time. Thank you all for tuning in to the AKJ channel. Please like and subscribe by pressing this button right here. If you want to watch more videos, please click on this video right here for the most recent update. Or just click on the video I might post right here. See you all later. Thank you.